Hello, this is Tim Law with Playing It Forward Coaching, always encouraging your self-reliance. If you'll develop a marketable skill, chase that skill with a good work ethic, always go the extra mile, develop some people and communication skills, you'll be amazed at what you can accomplish. A big thank you to 535 people who subscribe to this channel, Playing It Forward Coaching. If you haven't already, please do so. I'd very much appreciate it. I have a guy here that I met many years ago up in Hancock Central School, one of the really good guys. Has a really neat story to tell, or stories to tell, about his work getting involved with the transportation industry. And that's my good friend, Tim Ferguson. So Tim, welcome, and tell us about, kind of your background, your story, how you landed in Florida, etc.
Hey Tim, how you doing? I enjoyed these interviews greatly. Had some very interesting people on here. So, uh, yeah, when I graduated from high school, I remember I got home the morning after graduation with some friends, and at that point, there, my parents had made the determination they didn't really want to stay in that particular region of the country. It wasn't really had a lot of opportunities for younger people. So we piled 5 kids in a station wagon, and they sold everything we owned, and they had $2,200 to their name and moved to Florida. And we went down there, and everybody went looking for work as soon as we got there, and it sort of developed from there. And I was very fortunate to get on with a company down there that decided to invest in me, and they want to put me through truck driving school, and that was my entrance into transportation field.
Fantastic. Well, and again, as you and I talked, ahead of time, I'm a big believer, and I'm gearing this toward teens and young adults about, this self-reliance and the idea that you guys went down there, albeit, several decades ago, but still $2,200, you got 7 of you there. It's not going to go real long. And you're making I don't know, 1,500, 1,800 mile trip, whatever it is, down to Florida, all the way down there. And then, everybody hustling out, getting some work and everything. So I really applaud and put my hat off to your parents and your family. So tell us a little bit about your background in the transportation industry, Tim.
Yeah, well, the position that I got with a company that was close enough that where we wound up settling right there in Orlando. And I went to work in a warehouse because as I went through school, I mean, I did all right in school, but I really didn't have a sense of focus on exactly what direction I wanted to take. Really wasn't in a position that I was going to be able to go to college. So I was looking for avenues that might open up where I could still live a very comfortable lifestyle. And the company I worked for had just decided to identify some candidates that had good work ethics, and they had good backgrounds, and they chose me. They developed a driver training program. It was a 3-month long program. So they took me from a non-skilled employee and gave me that skill. And when I got done with that program, they employed me for the next 10 years. And it really set, I believe, my life on a course that was very different from where it may have went if I didn't get that opportunity to move into transportation, because the transportation field is, I'm very passionate about it. It's a very interesting field. There's very good earning potential there. Yeah, it's a very challenging one because you are away from home, and it's a physical job. I consider it a gray collar job. It's a skill set similar to a plumber, electrician,
Mhm.
but the earning potential there is really allowed me to elevate what I consider the quality of my life far more than I really thought it might, because I really didn't have a focus when I came out of school.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Well, very well said. And who would you say, Tim, were some of your main role models that kind of got you going as far as the transportation industry? Did you have anybody that kind of stood out as far as encouraging you?
Yeah, part of their training program, actually, they had a mentor assigned to you. They would work with you one on one. You were with that guy or lady 24/7. You would understood, because it is sort of a lifestyle type thing. So there were some drivers there that I tried to shadow all the professionalism they brought to the field, because you got to really conduct yourself as a professional, whether you're a doctor, lawyer, driver, whatever profession you chose. Conduct yourself as a professional at all times, and they really laid a good groundwork. And my dad and yourself in particular, I mean, there's some people that really helped form me into where I've got today.
Well, I can remember you being that young guy, little guy in 8th grade. When I had you in class, or social studies class, and I felt you did a good job in there. You're always, your parents did a great job because you're always, very very polite, and did pretty much what we would hope you would do there and everything. And anyway, what as far as what would you suggest as far as other young people, as far as the opportunities, within the transportation field?
Well, if they look anywhere on their carriers throughout the country have identified their vehicles as rolling billboards. They have information on there. Community colleges have some fantastic programs. Tech schools have great programs. So once you get the skill set, the recruiters are actually showing up at schools waiting for graduates to come out to offer them jobs with signing bonuses of $5,000 to $10,000 just to go to work for them. So an earning potential, while challenging, it can put you up into six digits on a pretty regular basis for a lot of carriers.
Yeah, yeah. Well, ironically, I don't know if you had a chance to see. I just did an interview with a gentleman, young man. He's graduating actually this evening at Northeastern High School, because I might have mentioned to you before that this Chad Forey, who we have at our school, he's one of only two that, in the other ones in California, were a high school student, get their CDL license. And so Owen was telling the story about he's going out, he's working with a harvest crew in the Midwest, but because he's got a CDL, he believes he can make, $150,000 a year or more or less, which is, a lot different than going into a lot of debt as far as college, with a questionable degree. There's certain things in college, obviously, you have to go to college for. So obviously, I'm preaching to the choir to you as far as the earning potential. He's very excited about doing this. And so if, let's say, somebody were to get involved as far as the transportation industry, what are the qualities that they're looking for?
Well, you got to be flexible and be willing to adapt for ever changes, because I know everybody sees as they travel the roadways everywhere that everything's gotten crazy out there. So you have to be willing to adapt to conditions, conduct yourself as a professional. A lot of people have struggled with the drug screening. That's really made a really challenging. So if you bring a professionalism, just as in any profession, forward, that I think you can really identify, but it is a sort of, I call sort of gray collar path to a very good lifestyle. I recently had my youngest daughter just graduate from college. We're graduating with no debt. And these things have really changed the trajectory of my whole family's life in the transportation field. So when you can make a leap like that, just by the right career path, there's career paths out there, but I'm pretty fond of transportation in particular, because it is sort of, challenging, but, people rise to the challenges when they're presented with it.
Sure, sure. And how important would you say, Tim, and I really try to encourage this as well, coming in with a good work ethic, be willing to embrace the challenges. Your thoughts on the work ethic in the transportation field?
Oh, it's critical because it is a hard lifestyle. I mean, if you're not interested in really buckling down, but I've been insistent. It's a vehicle to help my kids get their college degrees. And I said, as long as you pick a path that is successful, and a clean CDL right now has as much or more earning potential than a 4-year degree.
Sure.
So you can take that and use that as your ticket and pick your carrier, go to work, and you can really, carve a very nice lifestyle out. I'll be challenging, but in anything in life, if you want it and willing to work for it, you will be rewarded.
Sure, sure. Well, Tim, this has been great. Any last second thoughts here before we conclude? Any other thoughts or stories that may have come out as far as your mind was concerned here?
No, I mean, sometimes people, they see the trucks on the road, they see the advertisements and stuff like that. And transportation, albeit I'm a advocate of people getting their degree, because that really will allow you to be promotable in a lot of things. Our country's gotten so saddled down with kids that have debt that can't even keep up on the payments. And you got to really pick your path carefully. And transportation to me was the path, because I was sort of a mediocre academic student. And it really just, it was really something that made a dramatic difference. And keep all your options open, keep flexible, and be looking out there, because there's a lot of companies out there are looking for good candidates that are willing to work. And the hours can be long, but when you can move into the six digits without a college degree, that's a pretty dramatic leap economically.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of college degrees that still won't get you to, six digits,
No.
So, but you'll come out with a lot of debt and, hopefully if you're depending on what kind of major you have or whatever, there's a demand. But I can't emphasize enough, Tim, that work ethic, going the extra mile as you've done very successfully over the last several decades. And I applaud you for it for sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, when I look at how I started out, I was really, not really focused, didn't really have a path, but you got to be constantly looking for that path that will take you where you want to go. And it's
Sure.
out there. There's a lot of fields, but this one was one that just really, I believe it changed the trajectory of my life, and it really allowed my family to lifestyle that I really didn't expect to live.
Sure, sure. And it's totally up to you, Tim. Are you comfortable mentioning who you work for, or not? It's totally up to you.
Yeah, they're a large food distributor, so they probably may not be comfortable. I'm certainly wouldn't be a spokesman. I can, if anybody wants to contact me via, they can. My email is available through you,
Sure,
and I can help people pick carriers, or I can have one-on-one conversations just to sort of coach them up, such as you did many years ago with all of us, and sort of steer them in the way to go. Because I'm pretty passionate that it's a field that is a little overlooked sometimes when in today's market.
sure, sure. Well, Tim, this has been wonderful. Can you hang for a couple minutes when we get done here?
Absolutely.
Great. Well, thank you for your time, and look forward to staying in touch with you.
Great job, Tim. I enjoy these interviews, and keep on doing what you're doing. You've done it for a long time and made a difference in a lot of people's lives.
Well, I'm humbled by your comments, Tim, and I do appreciate it. Thank you.